Hey there! Predicting revenue with forecasting inside HubSpot involves utilizing several of HubSpot's features in conjunction with each other. You have to use them to gather, analyze, and project sales data. Revenue forecasting is the process of estimating future revenue by analyzing historical sales data, market trends, and other relevant factors. It involves predicting the amount of money a company will generate over a specific period, typically broken down by week, month, quarter, or year. In the context of HubSpot, revenue forecasting leverages the CRM and sales tools to create accurate and data-driven projections. Now, the next question that might arise, how can you set up forecasting inside HubSpot? Now guys, in order to set up the forecasting tool inside HubSpot, firstly log into your dashboard. Now click on reporting and data on the left, click on forecast over here. Now here you can see initially that there are two things. There's the deal stage, then there's the forecast category, and there's the pipeline. So right now it's set to ongoing sales pipeline. There's also the completed sales pipeline and also the close date. So forecast is something wherein you're predicting how much revenue would you generate in the near future. So the close date would be something which has to be a hard cutoff. So when we select this month, that's a hard cutoff of maybe the 31 days for this month. And we can also do something for the next month. And apart from that, there's the option to create a goal, to set the currency, and under the actions, you can go to sales analytics, or you can also edit your goals. So if you click on edit goals, you'd be taken to the goals overview page, and this is something completely different. Let's head back to forecast. Now once you are on this page, if you want to access the settings related to forecast, if you click on the settings icon while you are on this page, you would be taken to the settings for forecast. So here you can set it up and also see the pipelines. In the general setup for the forecast tool, there are all of the settings. For example, the forecast deal amount, which shows how deal amounts are displayed on the forecast view and related reports. And there's the forecast period, which allows you to choose the time period that you are going to use for revenue goals. For example, we had the monthly time periods. You can also set it to quarterly as well. And you can also edit the forecast categories, and you can customize the forecast category table, and you can also map forecast categories to the deal stages for each pipeline in the pipelines tab. And there's also the forecast submission status indicator, which shows which forecast submissions have not been updated after a certain period of time has elapsed. So you can enable this. This can come in handy. For example, maybe I want to know that if 10 days passed and if the forecast submissions have not been updated after this particular time, I would know that my team is not working hard. Maybe if you feel like 10 days is too harsh and you want to ease up the load, maybe you can increase the days. Or if you feel like that the 10 days is too long of a time, maybe reduce the days. And under the pipelines, here you can select the pipeline. For example, if I choose the ongoing sale pipeline, there's the option to automate forecast categories. So this will automatically update the forecast category whenever a deal is moved to a different deal stage. So for example, the closed loss stage is something which is not forecasted. It can't be forecasted because if somebody is closed lost, that is the worst case scenario. We don't want that. Absolutely not while we are selling. And if we look at the other things, for example, there's the closed won, the commit, best case, and pipeline forecast categories. And these are all of those things which are mapped to different deal stages. For example, the band stage or sample in progress deal stage is in the pipeline forecast category. Best case scenario is where the quote sent deal stage. Commit scenario is when it's in negotiation or pending. And closed won scenario for the forecast is when the deal stage is closed won. So after you have mapped the forecast categories to the deal stage, what you need to do is go onto the setup again and look at the other things that you might not have customized. For example, if you have not edited the forecast categories, this is something that you should do. And the property label for this one is already given, and this is something which is provided by default by HubSpot. So only few of the options here can be modified. For example, you can see the field type, and all of these are shown up here. Conditional options used in, so 39 out of 43 deals have a value for this property, and it's being used in a workflow, which is the forecast category mapping for pipeline and the sales pipeline. And we can also edit this property. For example, in case I want to add an option over here, apart from the closed won, worst case, commit, best case, pipeline, and not forecasted, I can add an option over here and click on save. And that way I can edit the forecast category. But what if I want to customize the forecast category table? Yes, that's also possible. I can just click on this, and here I can choose the columns which I want to show. For example, if I want to show pipeline, so deals in this forecast category are less likely to close. So this is being shown on the right order. You can see all of these things are shown over here. So I can select the pipeline as well in case I want to show that also. I can also reorder these in the column. So this is how I can have a layout which suits my use case. And then I finally click on save in order to save this. And there's also forecast submission status indicator, which shows which forecast submissions have not been updated after a certain amount of time. So this is the setup. Let's go back to forecasting and let's take a closer look at how you can use this to the fullest. Now the next step is data collection and preparation. Now before you start forecasting, what you need to do is data collection and preparation. For that, you need to integrate your data sources. So what we will do is you have to import historical sales data from different sources. For example, you might have spreadsheets, previous CRM. To do that, what you need to do is click on CRM on the left, click on contacts. So your data could be anything. If we click on import over here, now you can start an import for any of the CRM based data. It could be your list of contacts, maybe list of companies. It could be anything which adds up data which can be further used in order to forecast later on. So we have already made a complete video on how you can import contacts, companies and other data inside HubSpot. You can watch that video. Link is given in the description below. So once you click on start and import, these are all the options that will show up and you can watch our full video in order to know further. And once you have imported the relevant data, you need to ensure data integrity of whatever you have put in inside the CRM. You have to clean and validate all of your imported data. And as we talked about before as well, your CRM is only as good as the data you feed it. So make sure that your data is properly set up. Once all of these basic steps are done, what you need to do is assign your deals to the specific representatives who are going to work on them. So how can that be done? Let's click on CRM, then click on deals, and here maybe click on this deal. So this is the My Amazing deal. We created this deal in a previous video of ours. You can see that the deal owner over here is me. And maybe I can click on the pencil icon on the right in order to assign this to somebody else. Maybe I want to assign this to Ghanshyam Likhari. Then I select his name and I click on save, and I can change the deal owner so that I can track individual performance and forecast accuracy as well. But what if I want to add more than one deal owner to a particular deal? So in order to do that, firstly, you need to understand how it would be possible. For that to be possible, what you need to do is create a custom HubSpot user property for adding that sort of deal owner. So that can be done by going over to CRM and then going to contacts, click on actions, click on edit properties. Here, click on create property button. So the object type would be something like deal, and I can give the property label new deal user, something like that. In the group, I can select it to be related to deal information because this is something related to deal information regarding new users. And then in the field type, you have to select a field type. So here what we will select is something like multiple checkboxes. So we want the user to be able to select the different users. So here in the label, maybe we add all of our users. Add option, Ghanshyam, add option, Jay Lavanya. So we added 3 users over here. We click on preview. You can see that the new deal user property would show up these users, and I can select these in my deal so that I can track how many users assigned to a particular deal pipeline. So let's click on create, and my property is created, and now we are free to use this property on our deal page. Now further, you can utilize HubSpot's sales analytics. Now, in order to utilize HubSpot Sales Analytics, what we need to do is set up some sales dashboards in order to monitor key metrics like the deal stages, win rates, average deal size, etc. How can you set up a dashboard inside HubSpot? We have already created a complete video on the same, but let's just go over it quickly. Click on reporting and data, click on dashboards. Here you can see that we can add reports to this dashboard. This is an example dashboard. If you click on create dashboard, you get an option to create a dashboard from scratch. You can watch a complete video in order to know everything about dashboards inside HubSpot and how you can create them, and also everything that you might need to know about deals as well. Now moving further, you can also use predefined templates, or you can customize this dashboard in order to meet your specific needs. Moving further, you can use reports and analytics in order to further amplify your forecasting. Now, how would you create a report inside HubSpot? Click on reporting and data, click on reports, and here click on create report button. So you can either create a report from scratch, and it could be based on a single object. Maybe you use a custom journey report, attribution, funnels, and funnels is something that you would use if you want to have a report on the basis of deal stages. And there's also a single object report which you can now use using HubSpot's AI assistant. This is a new feature, it's in beta right now. You can also create reports from templates, for example, activity of recently created contacts, blog post total views. Depending upon these different templates, you can create these reports. And you can also create reports like contact created totals by first conversion. All of these reports will help you to identify trends and patterns which are crucial forecasting. Now you might ask, how do I create forecasts? Now, if we talk about creating forecasts, sales reps can compare the forecasted revenue with the actual revenue in order to gauge the accuracy of their forecast. You have to identify discrepancies and adjust forecasting methods accordingly. So, click on reporting and data, click on forecast in order to reach that place. Here you can also create goals in order to have a set idea of what kind of forecasted revenue do you want. So there are templates, for example, revenue, forecasted revenue, calls made, meetings booked, deals created. So maybe for the forecasted revenue, enter goal name, maybe 10K in sales. And here we can update user settings. So what we need is users with paid seats for this. So we can also select and set goals for teams or teams and users all at once. So we select the test team and the year is 2024. Select the completed sales pipeline. So maybe what we want over here is that the target should be something that our final target or goal of having almost 10K in revenue is completed. So maybe I put in something like 900 USD. So if every month we get 900 USD, then finally at the end we would have 100% yearly total, which is more than the 10,000. Maybe we can even reduce this. So for example, if we reduce it to something like maybe 880, so let's see how much extra or final do we get. So this is still more than the 10,000 predicted. So we can have some sort of targets like this, and once that is done, we can also enable the user goals. Click on next. And here you can set up the notifications. For example, you can receive a notification when your goal has started. When your goal exceeds, you can receive a notification for that too. When your goal is achieved, you receive a notification for that. And if a goal does not meet 100% of the target by the end of duration, for example, by the end of the year, you also receive a notification of goal being missed. We click on done, and our goal is being processed and it would be created now. And while it's being processed, we can go back to goals, and you can see that now we have a goal for all pipeline as $880 for this month. So we have set up a $880 goal so for every month, so that finally it becomes more than 10K through the year. So this is how you can set up a goal. And you can see here in the test group, we have only one member, which is Rishi, and he has absolutely not done anything related to the $880 goal. But yes, that's how things work inside HubSpot. And forecasting is simply comparing the forecasted revenue. For example, we forecasted a revenue of $10,500 plus with a monthly target of $880. For example, if we forecasted a revenue of $10K plus, so if every month the $880 target is reached, then only we would finally achieve that forecasted revenue. So forecasting is simply comparing the final results that you get with what you had forecasted in order to gauge its accuracy, and it's very simple. Now, creating forecasts involves manual forecasting as well as automated forecasting. Now, in the manual forecasting, what you would do is that click on reporting and data, they would click on forecast, and then they would manually put in all of the details. They would manually set the currency, they would manually create a goal, they would manually select the pipelines, go to sales analytics, and do everything on their own. But in the automated forecasting, they will utilize HubSpot's AI-driven insights for automated forecasting. This involves enabling predictive analytics to get more accurate revenue projections based on historical data and current trends. Analyzing forecast data is also really important. Now, when it comes to analyzing the forecast data, one thing is forecast accuracy, which involves comparing the forecasted revenue with actual revenue in order to gauge the forecast accuracy and to identify discrepancies and adjust our forecasting methods accordingly. So, for example, what if I make a forecast wherein we are tracking maybe the yearly revenue of particular salespersons? But what if we project certain revenue for those people, but they are achieving that revenue from their recurring clients, but not from new clients? So that means our forecasting methods are wrong and they are not showing us the complete picture, because we forecasted that this much revenue would come from new deals, but we don't have a mechanism in place to check whether the sales rep got that revenue from their new deals or whether that was from existing clients or deals. So these are the things which you have to keep in mind while setting up forecasts inside HubSpot. Going forward to pipeline management, you can use forecasting data to manage and optimize the sales pipeline. You have to focus on deals which are likely to close and identify potential bottlenecks in the sales process. Now, what can be some advanced forecasting techniques? Advanced forecasting techniques involve scenario analysis, wherein we can create different scenarios based on various assumptions. For example, a best case scenario or a worst case scenario. So, for example, the best case scenario for this goal for all pipeline would be that maybe my pipelines, every one of my pipelines has at least $2,000 to $3,000 per deal for every month. And the worst case scenario would be that the $880 target that we have set up for all pipelines is not being met, and that is like $0 for every month. That is the worst case scenario. So all of these best case as well as worst case scenarios are possible, and they have to be kept in mind while setting up your forecasts. You can use scenario analysis in order to plan for different market conditions and sales strategies. When it comes to sales quotas and goals, you have to set them up for your team based on your forecast data. You have to track progress towards these goals and adjust your strategies in real time as required. How can you leverage HubSpot integrations? When it comes to leveraging HubSpot integrations, you can connect HubSpot with other tools like accounting software, for example, QuickBooks, etc., for comprehensive financial analysis. You can use integrations in order to pull in additional data that can enhance your forecasting accuracy. You can also use HubSpot's APIs in order to build custom forecasting solutions which are tailored to your business needs. You can automate data collection and analyzing processes in order to streamline your forecasting efforts. So if you're on a free plan, a lot of these things like APIs and a lot of those access won't be available to you. But in case you have a paid plan, sky's the limit. Now here are some tips for improving your forecasting accuracy. Now, what are some tips for improving forecasting accuracy? You have to conduct regular data reviews of your sales data and forecasts, and always update and refine your forecasting models based on the latest data. You have to ensure that your sales team is trained on best practices for data entry and forecasting. Encourage consistent and accurate data input in order to improve your forecast reliability. And you also have to establish feedback loops. Feedback loops are those things where sales reps can provide input on the forecast accuracy and suggest improvements in real time. And use this feedback in order to continuously improve your forecasting methods. Conduct regular reviews of your sales data and forecasts. Update and refine your forecasting models based on the latest data. Train your sales team on best practices for data entry and forecasting. Encourage consistent and accurate data input to improve forecast reliability. Also establish feedback loops where sales reps can provide input on forecast accuracy and suggest improvements. Use this feedback to continuously improve your forecasting process. Now you might ask, what is the importance of revenue forecasting? It helps in informed decision making. It helps you to do strategic planning and decisions like expanding operations, entering new markets, or investing in new products. It also helps in allocating resources efficiently by understanding future revenue streams and financial needs. You can align spends with expected income, preventing overspending, and it ensures financial stability. It helps in managing cash flows by predicting periods of high and low revenue, allowing for better financial planning. It also helps you set realistic sales targets for teams based on data-driven insights, improving motivation and accountability. It also allows companies to benchmark their performance against industry standards and competitors. It allows you to detect early signs of potential downturns or market shifts, enabling proactive measures to mitigate risks. It facilitates the development of contingency plans for various revenue scenarios, ensuring preparedness for unexpected changes. It provides investors and stakeholders with a clear picture of the company's future financial health, building trust and confidence. It demonstrates the company's ability to project future revenue accurately, making it more attractive to potential investors. It helps in optimizing the sales process by identifying which strategies and tactics are most effective in driving revenue. It also assists in managing inventory levels by predicting sales volumes and reducing the risk of overstocking or stockouts. It enables personalized engagement with customers by anticipating their future needs based on past behavior. It also helps in identifying key customer segments that contribute significantly to revenue, allowing for targeted retention strategies. Now guys, this comprehensive approach will allow you to predict revenue with forecasting accurately inside HubSpot. In case you're running into any sorts of issues or troubles, or in case you need our help in order to build something amazing of your own that you have been stuck on since a long time, feel free to reach out to us for a free one-on-one consultation call wherein we help you build the project of your dreams. And I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.